All right. Hello, everyone. Looks like our chat might not be working. Let's get that chat going. And then we should be ready to party. There we go. Now we're cooking. Let's make sure we've got audio and video. Excellent. All right. Looks like we are officially live. Let's get some volume in my headphones so I can hear myself. How is it going, everyone? We're going to start just a couple minutes early to give everyone some time to get here for the stream, and then we're going to get the ball rolling. So happy Thursday, everybody. Visual echo of the chat. Yeah, there should be a chat on the screen on this side. One of these sides. There's a chat on the screen somewhere, just so everyone later can see all that. So yeah, happy Thursday, everyone. We are going to be doing some stuff with the Year 2 collection, the new Poly Mode module. We are probably going to build a cool, like, retro synthwave track is kind of what I was thinking. So we're going to build some patches from the ground up. We're going to use some presets, and we're going to turn it into a song using only Voltage Modular modules, I guess, as much as possible. Maybe we could even mix the entire track using Voltage, because there's EQs and compressors and things like that. We'll see where things go. So the plan here today is to go for about an hour and see what we can get done in that time frame in terms of making a track, and then from there we're going to do some Q&A. I will try and answer questions along the way. Keep an eye on the chat here, but other than that, we will have some dedicated Q&A time at the end of the stream here after we start building a track. So let's give everyone a couple minutes to get here. Let's see who we've got in the chat. We've got Martin, Steve, Days Are You doing the dab. I totally like whacked my pop filter there. Kevin, Thorsten. I'm sorry if I totally butchered your name. But yeah, all right. Looks like everyone is here. Not expecting to see me, Cameron. Yeah, so I'm here. I am Cameron, also known as Venus Theory, your tour guide Barbie of Voltage Modular today. Greetings from London. Hi. That's a bit of a distance. All right, it looks like we've got everything up and running. We've got some people here ready. Let's get the DAW open and start cooking up some patches. Let's fire that up and get Voltage here. I think we're gonna kick things off with the Poly Mode. I'm really, really hyped about that module personally. I think it sounds awesome. All right, let's get our first instance of Voltage here going while the DAW is loading. All right, let's flip into super streaming mode. All righty. Looks like we are good. Let's fire things up with a Poly Mode. And I guess we're gonna need to make a Synthwave Retrowave chord progression first. So let's dial in a quick patch of some kind. I think we can do that. Maybe we'll put in the mode a little bit. The infamous Vox Humana. Cool, I think that's good. Let's maybe add the saw. Detune these just a bit. And you know what? I'm feeling adventurous. Why don't we go ahead and add a Chorus 60 module just to get that nice and stereo and get those big 80s chords cooking. All right, let's see. What are we feeling today? I think I'm feeling like maybe some almost Outrun style vibes, so we'll go with that. Let's see what we got going on in chat here. Looking forward to some Voltage Modular magic. Me too. Greetings from Frankfurt. How's it going, Martin? Isle of Wight here. Cool. A lot of UK folks, huh? Jason, how's it going? Daw, this is Bitwig Studio 3. Got the poly mode and it's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty killer. All right, let's get a chord progression cooking. So we'll go with would that be A flat minor? Maybe we'll do some chord inversion 80s voicings. Sure. That sounds synthwavy. Get that nice low register going. All right, now we need a tempo. I think synthwave is usually at like 100 BPM. You guys should be able to hear the DAW okay. I don't want to load Blender right now. Let's see. Yep, all right, looks like that's all going through. All right, let's lay down some chords here. Not totally pretty yet, but we're gonna start building up the bones of the track. I totally messed that one up, but that's okay. Darren, do you not have to patch the poly mode in? Actually, no. So some of the new modules like the poly mode, the DCO60, and the synth voice, as well as some third-party modules, now have what's called a normaled connection. So while you can patch in the connections, like if I go here into the poly mode, so we have our pitch, gate, and velocity, I can wire this up like this, and that's all well and good. It does exactly the same thing, but even without those connections, we'll remove that one, it still works the same way because everything is assumed in this. So it's assuming that you're coming from these default locations. So it just saves you a bit of time when you're patching up some of the modules like this. This isn't for every single module, but for some of them, there is this normaled system. So in this case, yeah, I just had to wire out the output and we're done. So I think that's going to be the base of everything here. And on the note of bass, let's do... What's a good, why not do, I guess, the synth voice and get a classic stabbing bass line. So let's make that kind of like arpeggiated bass line. So we're gonna need an arpeggiator module, and then we're gonna need a sync divider. And that way we can sync all this up with our DAW. So let's see, we need to put the sync out in here. We need to put the play into the reset. And then the clock out is gonna go to the clock in of the ARP. We're gonna turn on external clock. We'll plug the play into the reset. MIDI in from host. We're gonna send the pitch to both of these oscillators, and we'll send the gate to the envelope, which is right there. All right, let's make a classic, I guess, 16th note bass line and send the output of the VCA. Okay, and let's make that 1 octave, and we're gonna need to ditch the reverb. Get a nice low filter cutoff, maybe with a tiny bit of resonance, and we'll put in the envelope to the filter here. All right, excellent. Let's try that. So let's lay down our bass line. Excellent. We're getting somewhere, and now we're going to need maybe some kind of lead. I guess for your classic poly lead, we'll do the DC060, where the outputs, I think the default preset should actually be all right. Let's do something with that, but add the LFO to the pitch. I think that's close enough for rock and roll. Let's lay down a quick lead, and then we'll get to some drums, but maybe we'll take a look at the chat here. Something along those lines. That should probably go an octave up, and we'll make these notes a little bit longer just so they're easier to work with later. Let's see what we got. These chords are pretty loud. Bass is going to go down an octave, definitely. All right. We'll start duplicating that out, and I think we're in business. Let's take a look through some chat questions here really quick. Fellow Scorpio, how's it going? Like the others are using a DAW. Yeah, so you can use Voltage Modular standalone or in a DAW. I mean, you can make a whole track just inside of a Voltage Modular patch. I mean, with just the cabinet, you could add sequencers and the MIDI file player and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, you could legitimately build an entire track in just one super massive patch, which is a lot of fun to do. I do that a lot myself, even for like the background music for a lot of the tutorial videos, or even at the start of this stream. A lot of stuff like that is actually constructed in a single patch, where I'll just have kind of some random music generators wired up, and I'll just tweak some things in the patch, and I can spit out background music super fast, which is awesome. How to use the bus features? Sure. So bus features, can you post the patch? Yeah, we can definitely save all the patches we make today and put those up. We can put them up maybe as a free download. I will figure that out. Perhaps we can email that out to everyone, or maybe we can post that on our social media. I guess later on too, I can just put it in the description of this stream. Maybe we'll do that. Or I guess in a comment. Yeah, after the stream, I can bundle up all these presets here as long as you have the modules or the demos for them. That way you can use them. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So yeah, let's show the bus thing really quick, which is pretty cool. Let's say we have a patch. I guess let's just grab the regular old oscillator. We'll grab an amplifier and an envelope generator, and then maybe a filter. So let's build a quick subtractive patch. So we've got our classic synth setup here. This is everything we need to build kind of a basic synth. So the bus features are pretty cool because we can assign things very quickly. So let's say we build this patch. We would need our gate, our pitch. This is going to control the amplifier. This is going to feed a saw into the amplifier. The output of that goes to a filter. The filter goes out, and we have a very classic synth sound. Now, let's say we want to build on this, but make it a bit easier on ourselves to manage a lot of connections. Like, let's say we wanted to duplicate this entire setup. So you could duplicate that by holding Alt and then dragging all this down, and then we have to rewire everything. But another way to work is using the bus system. So let's hide this library, move this stuff over here. We'll separate these two so this will be a bit easier to see. So let's unwire all this and start using the bus system. So the pitch, let's assign this to a mono bus, and we'll name this pitch bus. We'll do that for the gate as well. We'll add a new bus, so gate, bus. And then we can just manually wire the rest of this if we wanted to. So the pitch bus, we'll assign that to here. The gate we'll assign here. So now as I continue to add more oscillators, I can then reassign this. So if I add a different oscillator, let's maybe add a vintage oscillator here. And I've added that in and I don't want to wire this up. I can simply right click now, assign it to the pitch bus, and we're done. So that's the busing system. So we can save common connections as a bus, and that way all you need to do to connect it is right click and then assign it to that bus. So that's pretty cool. And then you can also convert the bus to cables to instantly wire everything. And then you can just see everything cabled as it would be normally. So that's the busing system. All right, let's see, is there any other quick questions? Is there a sequencer that can act as a song mode and voltage? Sure, you can use the 16-step sequencer, the 8-step sequencer. Let's grab a couple of them here. There's quite a few sequencers available. If we just search sequencer. 8-step sequencer, we have a drum trigger sequencer for your kind of classic 808, 909 style programming. The matrix sequencer from Bernard is really, really cool. I like that one quite a bit myself. What's some other good ones? Octagon is great for programming sequences as well. There's the 16-step. One of my personal favorites as well is actually the Uquints here from Sonobiosis. This is a really cool one because we can start to introduce multiple Euclidean rhythms into this, which is a lot of fun, as well as probability. This one is actually what I use for the majority of the background music you hear on this channel. It's a really complicated sequencer that's like really easy to use, and it makes things sound really complex and interesting. Maybe we could even try that out in this track. That could be kind of cool. But yeah, there are tons of sequencers available. All right, what were we doing? I'm getting off track. Chords. I'm not really in love with that chord pattern, so let's maybe redo that really quick and then start laying in some drums. Something like that. Yeah, we could do some more complicated voicings too. Gonna need a click track though. Whoops. I didn't like that. We're close. Almost there. Let's adjust that just a tiny bit. Let's get rid of that and drag these back. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Now let's start doing some drums. And then we can get some sidechain going. So what do we want here? What's some synthwave stuff? Obviously we need the like 808 hat. Let's get the drum trigger out, and that way we can trigger these drums a bit more efficiently, and then we can utilize the outputs. That way we can mix them individually. What do we want for a kick and a snare? Well, actually, let's get the, not the shaker, the 808 maracas, and then we can get the digi sample, because then we can bring in our own kick and snare here. So I grabbed the wrong one, didn't I? I want the 808 shaker. Maracas, always call it the shaker. All right, let's wire this up. So this is a really cool trick for those of you that don't know you can do this. So within voltage, we actually have multiple outputs, which allows us to individually mix these elements rather than sending them all out to one stereo bus. We can assign them to up to 4 different outputs, and that way we can mix these 4 elements individually. So for the drum trigger, we're going to send the gate out to each of these. So let's see, that's our kick, snare. This is going to be our hat. Actually, let's move that down one. Open hat, and then trigger for that. All right, awesome. Now we can wire this out. So let's wire this kick to here, the snare here, and then 3 and 4. Now we can lay in just a really quick drum pattern. Except we're gonna need to add some samples. Let's go in and go to, I have a bunch of really cool vintage drum kits here. Let's find a good kick from these. We kind of want that big 80s. That should be a good one. Let's find a snare. So we want a snare with a lot of reverb or a snare that would work well with a lot of reverb. That sounds close. Okay, I think we're going to call that good. Let's start laying in. All right. Now, we need to set up our outputs. So this is going to be different in your DAW, but we're going to add the chains here. There we go. Now we've got our individual outputs going. Maybe shift that a little. Little cheesy, but I mean that's kind of the whole point of Synthwave, isn't it? All right, let's do that. Now we're gonna need to sum some of these to mono because we're outputting stereo pairs. We'll just copy that and drop that into each of these. Cool. However, I'm wondering why our kick drum doesn't seem to be getting triggered again. There we go. I guess the notes must have been overlapping a bit. All right, let's duplicate that out and then get some side chaining going here. Really get that vibe cooking, and then we'll take a look at some questions. All right, let's group all that. Haha, all right. Now we're going. Let's put a limiter on this session now, just in case. All right, let's see what we got going on in the chat. When you're creating those chords, could you use DCO60 instead of poly? Yeah, whatever you want, really. I just use that because I think I want to maybe introduce some of the modes and the filters in there, just for some movement. Plus, this just has a bit more of like a warm low end to it, I guess. But maybe we could duplicate that even. So let's just wire that up with a DC060. Put these outputs. And maybe we could do something along these lines. We'll have kind of some chord stabs. Yeah. Add that sub. That's actually a great layer, I think. Cool. Let's get these drums to be a bit more not so lame. Just gonna have to shorten these a bit. All right, everyone bust out your aviators. Is there any plan to allow for more than 4 in the channels? I'm not sure offhand personally, but I can definitely pass that up. That would be very cool. Once passed it, yeah. I patch very quickly, but if you have questions on the patches, just let me know. Lengthen the tail on the chords. Yeah, maybe. I was planning to maybe add some reverb, though, and that's kind of why I'm leaving that. Maybe we'll do that now. I think we'll do the plate reverb. All right, let's wire that right into here. So now we've got the poly mode through a chorus 60 into a plate reverb. Maybe about like so. A flat minor, E flat minor, D minor. It's A flat minor, and then we've got F sharp major, and then a D flat major. But yeah, I think that's actually sounding pretty solid. All right, let's get a B section going here. We should probably name these just so I know what's what. Chords 1. Chords 2, we have bass. And then this is our poly lead. All right, let's get a B section going with that bass line. Something like that. We'll go for like a low. Make sure that bass line is going. There we go. Something like that. I think that sounded pretty cool. Let's add a bit of bass to this, though. I think there is a good... Yeah, there's a good EQ from PSP. And this way we can just add a little bit more weight. And then maybe a little bit more of the attack. There we go. Yeah, I think that sounded good. Let's do that. All right, let's get that quantized because this is getting a little all over the place. Maybe we'll back off on the 16th pattern there in that section, just so it's not so obnoxious the whole time. So let's maybe switch into something a little more groovy. And then we'll kind of move that whole thing over. And then in the second section, we'll maybe bring in like an offbeat shaker. That'd probably sound good. Whoop. Okay. Sure, let's copy all of that. Actually, it'd be faster just to duplicate it, wouldn't it? I feel like the bass line could be funkier, but let's maybe work on some filler things here. Let's add another voltage. What else do we need in Synthwave? We definitely need an FM synth of some kind. Let's find the FM bundle. And maybe just a regular old lead. I think that'd work. And then I think we're going to need some kind of pad. So this is going to be FM lead, and this will be pad. We should probably fill out the pad first, though. That way we just have a way to work with what we're doing. Let's do a vector pad, because that's already open here. How about something like this? That's maybe a bit bright. That sounds pretty much exactly like what we should do. Let's try it. I think I'm like starting slightly off the grid here. That's driving me insane. Like bass being slightly out of time is driving me nuts. So yeah, we need some pad chords here. I think we could just do some big, like 80s chords. So let's copy that. Something like that. It might sound a tad cheesy, but again, I think we're doing what we should. All right, let me just save this really quick. Awesome. I think we are well on our way. Okay, I think we're good. However, I want to move the cutoff of the synth voice, that like bass. Let's assign this to knob 1. We'll assign this to not cut off, cut off. Now we will right click and automation assign to 1. Call that our cutoff knob, and we should be able to open up our automation here. And now we can add an automation lane for that. I think I'm feeling that. Now we can go in and do our FM lead. And then I really want those like do-do-do-do-do-do, like the Rick Astley Never Gonna Give You Up drum fill. I have a candle going here that is getting way burnt out. That is almost empty. All right, let's do the FM lead, and then I think we're gonna sound design some do-do-do-do-do-do toms. I think I have the perfect module up my sleeve for something like that. All right, yeah. That's close. That's not quite what I want. All right, we need to change the... Yeah, that sounded good. Let's darken that delay just a tad. Yeah, now we're cooking. Let's do something with that. Yeah, I swear, it's like not quite starting exactly where it says it is, and that bass gets out of time. That was close. Yeah, I think that was pretty solid. Duplicate that out, and then let's get the do-do-do-do-do-do, and then I think I'm pretty happy with that. Somewhere in Voltage there exists the perfect module for making cheesy 80s toms, and I'm pretty sure it is from Misfit Audio. I think it was Clackwork. Or is this the... I think this is the clap one, actually. Yep, that's not what I'm thinking of. Hexagon? Yeah, it's Hexagon. This thing. This thing is exactly what we need. Okay, so we're going to need to sample out a couple of toms, and then we can, like, turn that into our own thing. Yeah, all right. Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's get... And we can probably just do all the sound design stuff right inside of Voltage, really. Let's grab a reverb. We'll do a spring reverb. We'll grab a distortion. And then just a little bit of a compressor, I think. Should be everything we need. And then maybe we could work in just a tiny bit of lo-fi. Give it that kind of sampled feel. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's adjust that decay slightly. There we go. All right, I think we're cooking with fire now. All right, let's program just one little MIDI note all by its lonesome there. Let's wire this through and record Oh, the output of the tom machine. That's right. Let's record that one. So do. So we need like 4 in total, I think is what I'm hearing. So that's going to be tom number 1. That can be number 2. I love the sound of this so much. And then we need 1 kind of low mid. Right about there should be good. Do. And now we need our low. And then we can bring all this back into voltage with the sampler, I think. Ah, that's such a great sound. I'm just gonna disable that track because we're not gonna need it. Let's turn all of these up a little bit. They're pretty quiet. How about right about there? I think that's good. All right, let's bounce all of these. Excellent. All right, let's grab another voltage. And we can bring in the digi sample. Do. Let's grab our drum trigger once again. So we'll feed the MIDI. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. I think my dog is a really big fan of this. And then for the sake of time, I think we'll do the console mixer. And that way we can just wire all of these into here, and that way I can pan them on the mixer. And send our left and right. Should probably make sure that track is armed. Excellent. And let's bring in our samples here. So top, mid, mid 2, and low. Yeah. Oh, that's so terrible in all the right ways. I think we are just going to do the straight up Rick Astley feel. All right, let's just solo that out and record that. Oh, I didn't record that. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be our fill. We'll call this Tom fill. Save that. We'll drag that over. I think we're going to do... something with that. Okay, so let's get rid of this bass here. Maybe we'll bring it in for the second half, and that way this can be kind of our intro. Let's see what we've got. Let's move that pad back. Maybe we could start it with the pad. Let's duplicate the pad actually and get an ARP, because every synthwave track needs an ARP of some kind. What's a good synth for an ARP? Let's make an ARP with the DCO. Grab the arpeggiator, a sync divider. Let's cook up an arp. All right, sync, play, clock, external. And now we need to convert mono to poly. So we're just going to need the pitch and gate. So pitch goes here, gate goes over there. Output, output. Maybe we'll make this 2 octaves. Something along this line. Something like that. I think that might work. I think we'll just need to bring... Maybe we'll just change the chord voices a bit here. Very close. Maybe fade that bass line in. Something like that. I'm not sure I like that arp though. Maybe we can change the sound a bit. Yeah, something like that, and then let's add a bit of reverb. Let's get this space reverb on this one. That way we've got that nice, like, washy chorus going into this. That should be cool. Maybe we don't even need to do it as an ARP. This could be just kind of a second lead, and we could just play it like an ARP. We'll just up the decay and release. That might be good. Let's try that. Yeah, all right. Nice. Maybe we could bring that in back over here, layer it up with that FM lead. Nice. All right. I think now we just need a couple of basic effects, and I'm good with that. I think that does about an hour. We've done good here today. All right, let's make some riser effects. I guess let's grab a... Actually, there is a super saw, mega saw, so we can easily do something with that. Let's do a mega saw plus... I guess we'll just do a really basic subtractive thing. We'll grab a filter. Envelope generator. Totally wired that wrong, but that's okay. And then once we've got this done, I think we are good and we can start doing some questions. So we want to make a riser. So let's grab an LFO here. And what we can do is use the ramp up wave to create a riser, and we're going to sync this. So we'll get a sync divider. And this is going to be really, really cool. So we'll do this over 4 bars. And then we'll grab a clock divider. Let's plug that through here. And that way, this is going to become a much longer riser. Because we're dividing that by 2. So we're going to ramp up into here. How about... make it unipolar. Actually, I guess we don't even really need to do that. We can just have this do it with the LFO. We'll reset based on the trigger. And we'll send that into the detune as well. So we'll start off not very detuned. Cool, and then we'll do the same thing here, but instead make this an octave up. That way we get that nice thick sound, and then we'll do the same to the filter. We'll send that into the filter mod. Cool, and then we'll get a space on that, and then maybe a big delay. Let's use there's one really cool delay that I just tested out this morning, multi-delay from Bernard. This one's a lot of fun. All right, let's feed this into the input, and the mix output goes here. That becomes stereo. We'll adjust the cutoff of these taps, maybe change the feedback of each one. Awesome. Let's maybe do the lo-fi as well in there so we can kind of start off really bit crushed. Well, not bit crushed, but sample rate reduced. That sounds pretty cool to me. All right, let's re-enable this, and let's grab the output of this voltage and just record it really quick. Cool, now we've got our own custom-made riser in a matter of seconds. Minutes? Time is relative. All right, looks like it cuts off right about there. All right, so we'll cut it there. We'll just move this into our track. Fade that bad boy in. Let's see what we got. Go right into that tom fill. Maybe we'll cut the drums there too. Awesome. That's good enough. All right, now let's take that same idea here and we'll turn that into a fall and we'll do noise. So a really cool trick, if you guys don't know, is you can actually move all your cables at once from a single jack by holding shift. Right now we've created a riser, right? Because we're using that ramp up wave. So now we want to create a fall. So to do that, we're just going to hold shift and move this over to the ramp down wave or the sawtooth wave, and boom, you've created a fall. So let's do that same thing and let's bring in a noise of some kind. Suppose we'll just use nitro noise. And let's feed this into our amplifier as well. But before we do that, I'm going to hold Alt to duplicate this filter. We'll pass the noise through this filter. We'll use the high pass. That way we're not getting all that super gross low end from the noise that's going to mess up our mix. Let's just use a high pass. Actually, let's make it a band pass and put it more towards the upper mid. You can maybe even make this crazier. We'll just detune this. Absolutely wild. Let's start the filter even lower. Now, I think let's do some amplitude modulation, just to make that even cooler. So let's hold Alt and drag this down. We're going to need to do this in stereo. So this is going to be our left, and this is going to be our right. Let's move this here, and let's get an LFO. Change the CV amount of both of these. We'll target the frequency with our ramp down, and that way it's going to be fast and then slow down. So we'll make this really, really, really slow and unipolar. You know what? Let's be adventurous. Why not offset these? So let's grab the one for the right side and just offset the rate a little bit. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So, same thing. We're going to use our sampling tracks here. Let's do that. Awesome. That starts over right around there. So we're going to do a pretty similar thing. Let's find our starting point, cut that. So this is our riser. Duplicate and delete. This is going to be our fall. Fall has 2 L's for those of you wondering. Let's give that a bit more gain because it's pretty quiet. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, we've almost done an hour. I think I want to do a cymbal in here. For the sake of time, let's use one more voltage and grab the transistor cymbal. Oh man. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. Okay, we totally got this. No worries, no worries, no worries. And, oh man, we're gonna need a delay. I'm gonna do this as fast as possible because we still gotta mix this a little bit. Okay, left, right, left, right. Say it with me, friends. Left, right, left, right. Mix this. That's gonna be longer. These are gonna be something like that. Okay. Oh, why can I not hear it? What did I not do? I don't have the track armed, that's why. Oh, that's not totally what I want, but that's gonna have to do. It would be way easier and way cooler to build that with some noise, but we're gonna call it. Okay. Let's mix, and then let's move on to some Q&A here. And that is building some synthwave. I think we did it, actually. All right, let's see. This is our cymbal hit. So we're gonna need to move a couple of these things in here. What about this thing? Shaker's loud. Okay, I think all we need to do really is like adjust these chords ever so slightly, and I'm not mad at that. That's actually pretty good. All right, let's EQ these just a bit. We can tweak these drums a little. And then I think for the sake of it, I do have a very cool free VST. This is called Tape Cassette 2. And we can run the entire mix through this. Nice. That tom fill should go in there too. Okay, I'm gonna save that. I think we are good. Let's have a look at some questions, shall we? That was a lot of fun. Man, that actually turned out pretty good, and we did it in an hour and 4 minutes. I'm not mad at that. All right, let's see what we got for questions and whatnot. So if you guys have questions or whatever, now is the time if you want me to walk through a patch in a bit more detail or anything like that. Maybe, I don't think we've actually listened to this whole thing. Perhaps we should give this one actual play. Hopefully the bass syncs up this time. I don't know why my DAW doesn't seem to be lining up exactly where it should. Man, I don't know what's up with that today. It's funny because the other ARP stuff was in sync. It's just that bass. Yay! Oh, that was actually pretty good. I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that. Pretty alright with me. Sorry about the sync issues on that. I don't know what's up with that. That's so weird. Yeah, it's almost like, I swear, the playhead, it says it's on the grid, but it's like ever so slightly off, so that just throws that bass off. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe I have the thing running in time code alongside of beats along the grid. I'm not sure. All right, let's see what we've got for questions and stuff now. And then, yeah, for those of you who joined a bit later, I'm going to go ahead and save all of the custom patches I've made here for this stream, and then we're going to put them in the comments of this stream after it's over. So I'm going to bundle them up, and I'll put a download link in the comments so you can download all these presets and share with us your own synthwave creations using them, because I think these are actually some pretty solid sounds. They still need a bit of tweaking, but for an hour, I'm not mad at what we got. Put some eighth note delay on the lead. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Good job. Thank you. Awesome work. Thanks. The riser, how do you approach this? Yeah, sure, let's talk about risers really quick again, because they're a lot of fun and they're super easy to make with voltage. So, let's just grab a brand new voltage and make a very quick riser. So one of the easiest ways to create a riser is using an oscillator and an LFO. Let's grab a envelope generator as well, and a amplifier. So I'm going to use the trigger to reset the LFO, so that way every time I press a key, it's going to start over, and I'm going to use the ramp up wave into the pitch of the oscillator, and let's just use a saw wave. That's going to go into the input, something like that, and out we go. So now this is going to affect the pitch of the oscillator, and if we drop the frequency really, really low, and mind you, I was just holding the note there. That's all I had to do to make that. So to make a really cool riser, all you need to do is just like duplicate this out a couple times and detune them. So we'll do, let's do another oscillator and just slightly detune the frequency. And then let's do a third one. We'll do another saw, but we'll tune this one up like a fifth maybe. We'll start this maybe just to go a bit faster. And then from there, you know, bit crushing, delay, whatever you want. If you want to tune the riser, you can send the pitch into the pitch CV. So that way it's going to start from that pitch and then move from there. That way we could tune this to a key. So in this case, the track was in the key of A flat minor. So I just played an A flat. And everything's going to work from there. So we'll go unipolar to rise up from that point. And there you go. That's how you make risers. So that's a lot of fun and a very, very easy project. You could sit there for even just like 30 minutes and make 20 different risers for your tracks. So that's a really cool trick and a really cool way to work. Thanks for the hour. Learned a lot. I'm glad to hear it. This whole thing as well, for those of you recently joining, and I don't believe I said this at the beginning, this whole thing is going to be saved. So if you want to watch back and see what you missed or just kind of study how I patch things, you can totally do that as well. So this whole thing will be saved later. Thinking about picking up the Andrew McCauley utility bundle as well. It's got some good stuff. Good job. Thank you. Sounds great. Thanks. Got my Ray-Bans pink t-shirt and linen sports jacket. Nice. I should go get a, I don't know, like a windbreaker. Or no, windbreakers were more like 90s, weren't they? I'm dating myself here. I've been able to get every sound I want from Voltage except those super hardcore basses in rhythm type music. Any tips for getting grimy wobbles out of Voltage? Yeah, totally. Let's do a like a gritty dubstep bass, I guess. Let's grab oh, I don't know. Let's grab well, actually, let's keep it simple. Let's grab regular old oscillators here. Let's grab a filter. Let's do a notch as well. So I'm going to try and stick to all stock modules here, just because I'm not sure what modules you have offhand. But yeah, we can totally make like modern, super heavy basses. I actually use Voltage all the time for that in my own music. And in like sample packs and stuff too. This is a really, really great tool for making just ridiculous basses that you can't do in other synths because it's modular, so we're really free to do like whatever we want. So let's make kind of a classic FM neuro bass. So I'm using 2 oscillators and I'm only going to output 1 here. We're going to change this to have some frequency mod.